welcome, ladies and gentlemen, one and all, to the Play Action Podcast, episode number 52. I am Will, and I have Colton here. Colton, how you doing?
I'm great, dude. Can't really complain. Another win for the Steelers. I called that one a little more shaky than usual.
I wish your defense could cover Darnell Mooney. Okay, you guys cost me a fantasy week.
To be fair, Justin Fields played his best game, and if you watch that play, he threw Mooney open. There's a good play from Fields, and rightfully so. I mean, the guy's starting to figure it out, and he's honestly playing some of the best football out of all the rookies. He's better than.
I think Mac Jones is playing better though.
Yeah. Oh no. Mac Jones is playing the best. Then I think Fields, and then Lawrence, and then Zach Wilson. But we'll get to your Jets in a little bit. And Mike White, baby,
Mike White. I want to know everyone's thoughts before we like to comment and just talk some BS stuff. But what's everyone's thoughts on daylight savings time? Do you like it? Do you hate it? We got over 100 people right now on Twitter watching. I want to see everyone's thoughts and stuff. But let's see what happens there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in, and this is the Play Action Podcast.
This is the Play Action Podcast featuring Will.
In the past 150 days, you didn't ever decide to sit down in your damn desk and be like, hey, let's game plan this playbook. Pardon my French, but goddamn, you are an idiot, Matt Nagy.
Featuring Colton.
Good job, Bill. Golly. What a dope. You missed Brady. You made a mistake. Come out and say you messed up. Golly. See, I gotta stop saying golly. There was a ton of golly.
Your go-to is geez Louise, golly. And I go saying that Arizona doesn't follow. You know what? I might just take my talents to Arizona, okay? I might just live in a desert. Yes, and there's Allison right there, disliking.
Hopping in. Love it.
She's coming out with the fire.
Yeah.
That's what she's doing.
And speaking facts, yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. I was trying to play basketball yesterday, and I'm like, my buddy's like, it gets dark. I'm like, we got an hour till it gets dark. Hour after the sun goes down, I was like, holy crap, it's pitch dark. I'm like, yep, we ain't playing. I'm like, oh my gosh, see, I hate it. I truthfully hate it. And it's getting cold. Dude, I'm going to Pittsburgh this weekend to see the Steelers play the Lions. It's going to be 39 degrees. Well, I'm not trying to deal with that. Oh my goodness gracious. But dude, we have a ton to talk about. And I'm very excited about a wacky weekend of football, to say the least. Seriously.
Wacky week, just I don't know. Predictions were not in my favor this week. I'm not sure if they were in anyone's favor, but it was just a disastrous week. But let's kind of go into the top here. NFL officiating. We had Dean Blandino on a couple weeks ago, and Colton brought up the no fun league and how taunting is kind of we're not ruined the game, but it really put a big damper on it. No one could celebrate after plays anymore. And now we're here. There's a bunch of taunting calls called this weekend, and one notably is right after a sack by Cassius Marsh, I believe a former New England Patriot. He was called right off the practice squad for what's it called?
He was in Steelers.
He was a Steeler. Okay, yeah, he was on the Steelers in the.
That was a little more staring action and letting it be known. You always see that stuff. It's always that guy you cut. And it's oh crap. We're playing him. Yeah, because that's what I'm scared of when the Steelers play Melvin Ingram and the Chiefs later on in the season. I'm like, this might not be the best idea. But, yeah, Cassius Marsh, former Steeler, and I knew as soon as he was going to get it, I'm like, yep, he's going to do something here, and he did. And the No Fun League was back, Well. It really was.
And I want to just cut a quick thing to our interview with Dean that we had a couple weeks back. You can find it over on U Stadium's YouTube page, Facebook page, or you can find it on our YouTube page, the Play Action Podcast. But let's get right into this here.
So my question for you, with the NFL, big change. The No Fun League is back. The taunting penalties. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, geez, we've seen a few that have been really questionable. I think a lot was week 2. We saw a lot of them. What are your overall thoughts on the change of the taunting penalty kind of being back in the league?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a part of this, and this tends to be cyclical. Sportsmanship is always a big point of emphasis. Every year you look at player safety, you look at the competitive aspects of the game and sportsmanship. Those are kind of the 3 pillars. And I think a lot of it came from the coaches subcommittee that works with the competition committee. They felt that on the taunting stuff, the stuff directed at an opponent, we started to see that more. So they wanted the committee to look at it and the officials to kind of crack down on it. And they certainly have. You look at through the first 5 weeks of the season so far, 14 taunting penalties compared to only 4 last year. So that's a big jump. But it's still, you think about 14 and we've played 5 weeks. So you can do the math in terms of number of games. We're not talking about one a game. We're talking about, one every couple of games, but still they're 15-yard penalties. There's significant penalties when they happen. But again, I think it goes to the overall sportsmanship of the game, trying to clean that up, make sure, getting the calls where it's really taunting. It's directed at an opponent. It's not just the normal trash talk that happens. I think that's some of the problems that people have with it. They're just talking. It's not really derogatory. It's not really directed at the opponent in terms of something demonstrative. And that, you should give the officials a little bit of discretion there to not have to throw the flag.
Do you think this is more about, like, it kind of came more to light in the Super Bowl where we saw, I think it was Antoine Winfield.
Let's stop that there. But really, they are trying to crack it down. They want to make it so there's a lot more sportsmanship, as Dean said a couple weeks back. But this week, I felt like it was just a blow up in calls. I think there was at least 3 calls. I had to do the Patriots game this weekend. So I think there was at least 3 calls of unsportsmanlike conduct. And then there's the whole Mac Jones ankle grabbing, twisting leg off. I don't even know what to call it, but a move that you see in WWE. But there's so much happening right now with these calls. And I mean, we talked about it before the show. You kind of said the NFL dug themselves a hole.
They have. And the thing is, like, why? Like, it's just, everything's fine. Why are we trying to fix stuff that doesn't need to be fixed? Like the pass interference. Yes, I know we've seen it, and that whole challenging thing was a disaster. Yes, one blatantly bad. It's like one thing leads to, like, trying to fix things like this. The Saints-Rams game, clearly pass interference, they missed it. And it was all of a sudden, oh, hold on, we need to add where you can challenge this. We saw, what's his name, throw up the deuce to Tyreek Hill. I'm forgetting
Antoine Winfield.
Antoine Winfield. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it was like, holy crap, we got to make a big change on taunting. Like, the flag was thrown for that. That was a huge, out of the ordinary thing that you saw. And it's ridiculous by the NFL. The catch stuff, when that was huge, it was like, oh my gosh, what are we doing with the catch now? They kind
what's a catch? How to catch?
They kind of figured out what a catch is. It took them a little bit longer than it should have, but they kind of figured it out what it is now. But the other stuff, the pass interference, we got to make a huge adjustment. You could challenge it now. No, what are we doing? The officiating's gotten a little bit better with quick reviewing things, kind of like the XFL was. If you go back to our interview with Dean, you would hear that as well. I like that, but this whole taunting thing, it's ridiculous. And the fans don't want to know the officials are there. It's like a good thing when it's like, no flags. Cool, I like it. This is ridiculous. Again, it benefited the Steelers for once, and I'll take it. The officiating has cost the Steelers at times. The Saints game a few years back, or the pass interference was awful. Offsides with Joe Hayden this year, so I'll gladly take a call. But it was an awful call. I was watching with a buddy. I'm sitting like, dude, no fun leagues back, dude. Just like I said with it's awful. It shouldn't change games, and thankfully, it didn't drastically change the outcome of this game. Thankfully, the Bears scored. They took the lead. The Steelers came back and won the game. So it didn't drastically change the game, but my God, if it did, holy crap. They shouldn't be involved. I shouldn't know they're there.
That's true. And then we also have the official word. Sorry for the blurriness. It was probably recorded on potato, but the official word from the actual NFL officiating for why the play was called a taunting.
In Chicago versus Pittsburgh, Bears number 59 is penalized for taunting. He takes several steps toward the Pittsburgh bench, posturing toward their sideline. Taunting is a point of emphasis to promote sportsmanship and respect for opponents. This was recommended by the competition committee and coaches.
I don't oh my God. This shouldn't be a rule like this. Oh my gosh. I know the median ran by our guy, Alex Cuesta, good friend of the show. Check that show out, the Alex Cuesta show. Give a little shout out to him. The pro, he says pros should be able to taunt. It's their job. They've earned the right to do it. And that's what Ryan Clark said. This is what they've trained their whole life for. This is what they train every single week for. And he didn't do anything there. That's not taunt. I don't care what the NFL says in the stupid rule committee. That shouldn't be a flag. Again, it benefited the Steelers. I'll gladly take one. Great. That shouldn't be flagged. He did nothing there. It's not like going like, hey, Pittsburgh, boom, and flipped the other. Like, he just stared at him like, hey, you cut me. Guess what? Big play. Like, ridiculous by the NFL. It's like, why are we talking about taunting? Like, that shouldn't be what we're talking about after a wild weekend. And yeah, we have another comment here. Screw respect for the opponents. Be better than the opposing team or get taunted. I like, you should be able, like, it's not like you should be allowed to taunt, but like if you're doing something like, again, like blatantly obvious, like Antoine Winfield, sure, but that's
if you're up in the
rare.
if you're up in the face, but like
That's
no one's ever
rare.
in the face.
Yes. Well, I've talked a lot about it. I just, what are your thoughts on it? Like you just said, getting in the face.
You know,
There's
if it's not like Brian
specific things that should
Cushing
get
where,
flagged.
he has his helmet off. It's not like Brian Cushing where he's playing the Browns with his helmet off and he's running his face into the other guy's grill and just breaking his nose open. Like if you're not in the face of them, like it's okay. Like we've seen multiple sack dances where there's like no flags on it, whatever. But then you have like Tre'Davious White in Buffalo against Miami week 2. And then you see him just kind of like go like this over the opponent, and then it's a flag just because he was on top of the opponent because, he made a stop. You get excited. You're allowed to get excited. Like, come on. Like, do you not get excited over your team, like, doing anything? Like, are they going to call taunting on the sidelines for celebrating a touchdown? Coaches running down the sideline like Rex Ryan back in, the 2010 playoffs, running down the sideline to celebrate with the team?
It's just like,
I know that's excessive celebration, but, are you just taunting?
Taunt,
Because
like, taunting, it's just such a stupid thing. Like, it really is. I hope this is one of those things at the end of the year. Yeah, were the fans bitching about this?
the fans are. I mean, everyone's complaining about it.
No,
I mean,
no. Were the fans complaining last season about taunting? No, like they weren't. They were not complaining about it. This shouldn't be something they're doing now. Like this, that's what gets people very annoyed about this whole thing. And it's just, it's again the no fun league. Like it's seriously until they change this whole thing. Enough is enough. Like it really is. Like this shouldn't be what's talked about. This shouldn't be the first thing out of our mouth, Will. After a wild weekend where the Jags upset the Bills, the Giants upset the Raiders. Like this shouldn't be what we're talking. The Broncos beat up Dallas. This should not be the first thing we're talking about. That should have been, and that's the problem with the NFL. Go talk to your fans. Do the fans say, hey, I don't like this guy taunting on this player. I don't like the way they're talking bad and trash mouthing each other. That's football. It's competition. Like I would love to have the NBA players mic'd up as they're smack talking each other up and down the floor. Like I would love a channel like how they have a separate broadcast. Like how the Manning broadcast. I would love a broadcast where you got players mic'd up and they're running their mouths on the floor where you hear some language. I would love that. Like it's just no fun.
that's the $1 million idea that has to be invented now.
See, it is, but the problem is, it's gonna have to be like streamed, like where people, like kids, because of the FCC, because if kids run across,
you don't want to have Eli flip the camera off again and have 3 FCC violations.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then I know during the Jordan documentary, Michael Jordan. First time I heard him use F-bomb, I'm like, what? Like, am I on something else? What is going on here? It's just. I would love for them to do something like that, but yeah, I mean, enough with this because there's plenty of other stuff to talk about, and I don't want to we've already talked for 14 minutes about officiating. I'm over it. They got to fix this because it's a problem, and the taunting, it really is. It's ridiculous.
Well, let's go into the next headline here for Odell Beckham Jr. He got cut on Monday, cleared waivers. No one decided to sign his $7.25 million contract, or as Adam Schefter tweeted, $7.25 contract. He was paid the bare minimum wage, the federal minimum wage, to say the least. But, he said if he goes to a non-playoff contending team, he's going to cause issues, which I don't really think you should say out loud. You should be thankful that you're playing in this league. But here's where we are right now. He's down to 3 teams, the Chiefs, the Packers, and the Saints. Of those 3, where could we see him go? Or could there be a wild card team that could be eligible to pick him up?
Yeah, I think what's called makes a ton of sense. The Packers and honestly the Chiefs. I know they made a move at the deadline acquiring Melvin Ingram, I talked about that earlier, talked about that last week and all that. They need another receiver to team up with Tyreek Hill. Like, their offense does not look good. Josh Gordon has clearly lost a step. Yeah, like they need another receiver, like a legit number 2. Like, Hardman's nice and all. He's not a number 2 on a lot of teams. Like, if you look at other teams, he's not. He's a nice piece, but yeah, it makes a ton of sense for the Chiefs to get Odell. I don't want to see that because, again, AFC. And to be honest, I would like to see Green Bay with some weapons for Rodgers. Like, again, Valdez-Scantling is, again, 3 receiver on a lot of teams. Same thing with Lazard. Like, he's complained about weapons. What they brought in Randall Cobb because he wanted some guys familiar with and, like, that he would trust. He just trusts Devontae Adams. That's it. I'd love to see, and Odell wants to get rejuvenated, and if he does, Seattle doesn't make any sense for him at Lockett and Metcalf. Green Bay and Kansas City make the most sense. Well, what are teams that you like or you think make a ton of sense for Odell? And
I saw one team, and apparently they're in on it, and they're not on this list, and they're only a half a game out in the AFC East. I'm going to say the New England Patriots. This goes back to 2019 where Odell was speculated to get traded, and then they go, oh, maybe New England would trade for him. Maybe New England would trade for him. Belichick will get this guy in shape. He'll be like, listen, you're not going to be calling anyone out anymore on this team. You're going to be playing for my damn team. That's what you're going to be doing. And that's a coach that he needs, okay? Listen, I know he treated, Brady like a rookie. We heard all this stuff. He has to treat him like a rookie. He has to basically tell Odell, you got to shut your damn mouth. You don't be running your mouth around here. Everyone's here to work. And also, you've already stressed it enough about, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar. They really didn't go out and get anything. Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith are kind of the only bright pieces. But, Jonnu Smith's kind of been that only player that's only been there for New England on this offense this season. But where else could he possibly go? Tampa Bay already ruled themselves out. They said they already have A, B. They don't need other letters involved with the offense. That's what Bruce Arians mentioned.
Bruce Arians is a funny guy. Like, I would love to have a cocktail with Bruce Arians. I know he's a big cocktail guy and likes his drinks. That's a guy I would love to sit back with and just bullshit with. Like, Bruce Arians is a funny guy. Like, seriously, he is. But yeah, Kansas City makes a ton of sense. I don't know
with the Raiders. Because the Raiders looked pretty lost without really a kind of clear-cut number 1 guy. Like, when they lost Ruggs, they don't look the same on that offense. But they're also dealing with that distraction as well for the team.
Yeah, I just don't know if they need any more distraction. Not saying Odell is. I know people view him as a cancer in the locker room, this, that, and the other. Other than as of recently, his father tweeting. It wasn't even him tweeting out stuff,
starting
posting stuff. Odell's been really good in Cleveland for not getting the ball at all. Like, he's been his production has clearly gone down since New York.
Eli Manning made Odell Beckham. I'll say that right now. Eli Manning made Odell Beckham who he is.
Yeah, and I mean the catch also made Odell. To be honest with you,
that's true too.
He needs a new environment, and he wants to go to a contender. Which again, when any receiver come into a free agency, where now you can choose wherever you want to go, he's clearly going to choose a contender. Kansas City makes a ton of sense. In Green Bay, I don't think a rookie needs a guy like Odell. Again, Odell might not complain in-house, like, yo, get me the ball, but it's the media around it. Does Mac Jones need to be, going on a Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, whatever he's doing, Instagram, and be like, yo, get Odell the ball. What do you like? A rookie doesn't need that, and it's. The difference is when they brought Antonio Brown in the Patriots, Tom Brady was there. So now you have a rookie and you're going to bring a big, high drama receiver in Odell. It just doesn't fit, and they're gelling. The Patriots are making things work. Hunter Henry's starting to figure himself out there as the past 4 weeks. That signing looks good. Why mess the chemistry up? It doesn't need to be happening for a rookie quarterback like Mac Jones. I think the Patriots or the Packers and the Chiefs and the Raiders make the most sense, to be honest. Seattle literally makes no idea why that was even brought up because Lockett and Metcalf. Seriously, makes no sense.
Listen, he wants to go to a contender. Let Rodgers have one last ride. If you don't want to win a Super Bowl with Rodgers, you saw what that offense looked like without Rodgers against Kansas City. It just looked abysmal. They couldn't get anything going. Kansas City was all over that stuff. And plus,
Yeah,
they had Jordan Love's girlfriend and Jordan Love's mom in the last row of Arrowhead. That was a funny sight to see.
Yeah, Jordan Love does not look anywhere ready for the big stage because, I mean, that's the worst defense in football he played against. So, and continue to struggle till late. So, yeah, he's not ready for the big stage. But yeah, Kansas City definitely needs some help because how do you not like that game should have been ugly? And it was ugly. Like it should have been ugly as in like Kansas City pounding on the Packers.
It
And it
went
wasn't.
from
It was
Packers
close.
favored by 8 to Kansas City favored by 7. That was a huge swing that they took without
Well,
Rodgers.
as it should, and you saw the difference. Like if Rodgers plays, they win. Like it's not close. So, I mean, Rodgers getting a weapon. We're gonna finally see. It looks like Rodgers should be back this weekend with that whole mess. Him and Russ. So I'm excited to see both those guys back this weekend. Hopefully.
Yeah, the Packers were fined $300,000. The Rodgers and Lazar were fined both $14,000 because they're not vaccinated, but they were walking around without any masks in NFL facilities. But that's not if they get another violation or something, that will be a loss of draft picks, and other stuff kind of all around that time. I saw one thing. I sent this to Colton on Monday, and I'm like, oh, we need to talk about this because this is very interesting. So if you watch other sports, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Braves both won their respected championships. Braves won the World Series and the Bucks won the NBA title. And somehow Dallas always wins when they win. So could the debate here, could we be seeing Dallas winning? Does this double down because both the Braves and the Bucks won this year? Could Dallas be bringing home a Lombardi? Or should we just turn off the Xbox?
Yeah, this is really weird. When you said this to me, I'm like, this is a little fishy. Dallas is, actually somewhat decent. This is a little weird, huh? But yeah, I don't think so in the end of the day. But history. Again, we always say history repeats itself. So this is weird. This is a weird one. Dallas fans, simmer down a little bit, but also kind of feel good. You might want to go toss some money on it just for history's sakes. But yeah, this is an interesting one. When you said this to me, I kind of laughed a little bit. But yeah, it's kind of.
I laughed too because I'm like, oh, hey, maybe Dallas could do something. I'm like, oh my God, Dallas is actually good this year. I forgot. I had the whole face palm and everything. I was just like, oh no. But let's go into the Titans really because we wanted to talk about the Titans regardless because they have gone on the biggest 4-game win streak I don't think any team has gone on. I asked Colton too about this because I was drawing a blank because I like to set up stuff Tuesday night, and I was like, what are you thinking about for today? And then he brings up the Titans, and they're just on a big win streak. I don't know if the Titans could be stopped. And if you watch our producer Ryan or Splashman, as you know, on U Stadium, he has his own show, The Sports Desk, that usually runs at about 6:00 on Tuesday afternoon evenings. And he always asks for a hot take, and I dropped my hot take. I said the Titans are an even better team without Derrick Henry. And they're obviously the offense didn't really need Derrick Henry because the defense looked phenomenal on Sunday.
I don't know if I'd go with that. Like I wouldn't say any, that. Again, it's a hot take. They asked for hot takes, but yeah, they're good, man. The Titans are good. It's weird. I'm sitting here. I'm like, when you go back to I think it was our Sunday show or was this show like a few weeks back when they played the Colts, and I'm like, I don't know what either of these teams are, and like this where like I'm gonna either run with this team, like I'm buying this team or I'm holding this team, and here I am. Dude, the Titans. This is it's weird. Like
the Titans are the best team in the AFC. I don't think there's no doubt behind it. I don't know who stops the Titans. That's the only thing, especially in the AFC. I don't really care about the NFC, okay? I mean, they still have to play the 49ers. I believe they already played Seattle. They lost. They got dominated by Arizona week 1. So the 49ers in a Thursday night game 2 days before Christmas is the next time they'll play an NFC team. Besides wherever they finished up against, I don't even know if they already played that team or not. This is an interesting topic. Who in the AFC could stop the Titans?
The Titans make my head hurt. It's like they shouldn't be this good. They lost their best player, and they handled the Rams. Like the score looks somewhat closer than it was. Like the game was heavily controlled by the Titans. There was it was just very head scratching. Like they pay a huge amount of bucks for Bud Dupree from Pittsburgh, he's been very, very quiet there. I don't think he has any sacks for the Titans this year. He's like 5 or 6 tackles total. It's just like, it literally makes my head hurt. Like, if you can like animate like, steam coming out of my, like smoke coming out of my ears, like it's making my head hurt. Like Tannehill hasn't played like his best football. It's just really weird. Like the Titans getting pressure. It's just really, really weird. And again, hats off to them. It's just, again, like I said, my head hurts. Like this makes my head hurt. Like it just, I don't like, I can't compute it. Like the Titans are good and their defense is good. And it's really weird, Will.
They're going on a better streak than what they did in 2019 when Tannehill took over. They're going on a much better streak here. And that's also, without Derrick Henry, the league leading rusher, who's going to be leading the league at least for, I think, another week. But look, they go out on Monday night. They demolish. Well, they don't demolish, but they go hand in hand with Buffalo. They beat Buffalo after Buffalo goes into Kansas City and wins. And then they go play the Chiefs. They shut out the Chiefs offense. They just make the Chiefs look like they don't know how to play football. And then they go against the Colts. They go into an overtime game against the Colts because you beat the runner up in the Super Bowl by 3 scores. You have to go out and show, oh hey, there's nothing going on there. As your boy Joe comments about Jake Funk, that's why they're losing. And then they go on Sunday night. They go into Hollywood. They shut down Buffer on the kickoff. They don't let him finish his whole thing. They said, we were going to play this game. And then they won by 12. I mean, I consider it a third score because it was a garbage time touchdown that Stafford got. But look at them. I think Baltimore could be the next one. I mean, they do play Baltimore a little bit later on in the season. But other than that, I don't know who stops Tennessee. I really don't know who stops.
Whoa. Wait, Pittsburgh later on in the season.
I'm writing that down as a dub right now.
Oh wow.
A hot take session right now. I'll write that down as a dub. 3 scores. Titans win by.
What? Oh, see, now you're smoking that good stuff. I know New Jersey is legal now, but geez, I don't know what you're smoking. But I got, again, I don't know why people don't drop comments in the comments on the video. But
yeah, come on.
Do.
Let's listen.
I had people
interactive with us.
I sent it to a bunch of groups. Our show, I always do every single time. I got guys in here because they're listening. They're typing in here in like text messages, not in the video. Please just drop it on the video so we can post it or talk about it. Because I don't even know who this is, but someone said Arizona Cardinals can stop the Tennessee Titans,
and which they did week 1. They put them on skates. And then Chandler Jones had that historic 5-sack game, and you haven't really heard of Chandler Jones since. Also, fun fact, Chandler Jones now leads the Arizona Cardinals franchise with the most sacks all time. Bet you didn't know that one. And he's only been there since 2014, 2015.
Nah, but he's good at football.
He is really good at football.
He's been like the most underrated like edge rusher in the game, honestly, to be fair. Even though TJ Watt is, I know he's like
okay, enough with TJ Watt.
No, you know what? See, you're right. Steelers stuff's coming out because he doesn't have a defensive player of the year. It's very annoying. But yeah, the Titans are like good, dude. It's just we'll see. We'll see going forward. Tannehill's got to that's what's so weird about this whole thing. Their defense isn't that good. Like they lost Adoree Jackson. They lost what's his name? They traded him a few years ago, or last year to the Broncos. Jarrell Casey, who was one of their better interior players. It's just, again, my head hurts. Like this is like weird why they're like this good defensively. There's a code I can't crack, and the NFL can't crack. The Rams can't crack, for crying out. It's like the Rams took the whole second half to figure out, they're getting pressure inside. Let's get Stafford out in the open, like play action, like we did with Goff. And they started moving the ball a little bit, but they still couldn't score touchdowns. So hats off to the Titans. It just a little respect had to be shown here. How are the Titans doing it? And it's impressive to say the least for the Titans.
It is very impressive to say the least. Let's go into top moments of the week. What's some of your top moments that you saw?
Top moment has to be for me, the Jags, dude. Like an ugly game. Like that should be like a snow. Like a blizzard game, like where it's like, oh crap, 6-9. Wow, okay. Nice, by the way. But yeah, it's dude. Jags, like it's this weird weekend, wacky weekend. Top moment, it literally has to be all the upsets. The Broncos haven't found their offense, but all of a sudden did, and they stopped Dallas's defense. or offense. I mean, it's like
They stopped both.
What? It was just like, what? The Broncos haven't showed up the past like 3 weeks. They were 3-0. Then all of a sudden they're like 4 wins. It's like, and you just like shut out Dallas in Dallas. It was like they scored late. Those scores, Dallas, that wasn't close. That was a blowout written all over it. It's just this weekend was really wacky. It really was, and that's kind of my thing. Like the Giants beating the Raiders. Giants look good.
The defense looked really good.
That's kind of my thing, dude. It's just the top moments were all the upsets. It was wacky.
I gotta say my favorite upset too. Well, favorite moment: Josh Allen sacking Josh Allen, then Josh Allen intercepting Josh Allen, and then Josh Allen recovering a fumble from Josh Allen. The trifecta. We had the hat trick on defense. So I gotta give a hand to Josh Allen here because although my bold take was they're going to do a jersey exchange, but Josh Allen was pretty pissed when he got off the field. So I don't think that jersey exchange is going to happen unless it happens in the offseason. Then I'll have a perfect hot take then. But come on, it's the Spider-Man meme. That was my favorite part of the work chat. Everyone's like doing the Spider-Man meme, just the spam of it.
No, they're definitely, if they didn't already, they're definitely going to do it. There's no way you don't. Like, that's history. That's crazy. I'd be like, it's not like it's like a bad player. Josh Allen's I hate this.
He's a top 5 player in the league. A top 5 quarterback.
No, see, I wasn't even talking about Josh Allen, the quarterback. I hate this whole thing. It really is. It is the Spider-Man meme. It's just oh my God. See, like on the next topic, I'm gonna hurt my head here. Yeah, Josh Allen from Jacksonville is a really good player. It's like swapping jerseys. I'm like, dang, I'd swap with Joe Schmo. Like you swapping with a good player. It's just insane. And this weekend was like so crazy. Well, it really was.
Another one that I really like too. So I had to do the Patriots game for my job. So I was game cutting there. But then JC Jackson's the best corner in the league. I'm sorry. He's playing so good. Okay. Sam Darnold and JC Jackson today were just Randy Moss and Tom Brady from 2007 all over again. I found this. I thought this was hilarious. I had to share it.
Well, yeah, Sam Darnold, your boy.
Yikesville. He couldn't complete a fracture.
See, beat me to it. Yeah, it's not a good day.
Nothing. No, injuries aren't funny, but like it's Sam Darnold. Okay, I respect the man. I have his jersey hidden now because I'm just that. I can't support the man anymore. Drafted him high in fantasy, as in high I meant like the 13th round. Because I said, you know what, he's going to be the dark horse here. Dark horse. I'm just kind of digging myself a greater hole right now.
Yeah.
But, JC Jackson, he leads the league in interceptions since 2018. I believe he has 22 on his career total. And I believe the first time I ever saw him, I remember where I was. I was in Buffalo Wild Wings. This is 2019, the AFC title game. And he's single-handedly costing the Patriots the game. Just pass interference calls every single time. He had at least 3 pass interference calls. And I said, JC Jackson, what is up with this man? What's going on right now with him? And now he's lighting it up right now. And also some news to report for your guy. Chase Claypool, his turf toe is not considered season ending. There is some fear originally, but he's considered week to week. He may miss some time, but he will be back some point. At least some good for the Steelers. Odell Beckham to Pittsburgh? Will that happen?
You know what? They have Anthony Miller sitting on their practice squad. I kind of been waiting for him to get called up, so it's just like I don't. Yeah, God. Odell. I would like him, but I don't. He's not coming to Pittsburgh. Steelers should kick the tires on him for the vet minimum, to be honest, with Claypool out. But yeah, it's the Deontay Johnson's show and Pat Freiermuth, and you're gonna see a little bit more of Najee Harris, I think, out of the backfield. So they've done it all season without Juju. Now it's very painful with no Claypool. Now it's just like, oh my gosh, what else could we deal with now? Seriously,
there's always more. You always think that it could be worse, and it could always get worse.
It is worse. Well, it is worse.
You could be a Jet fan. Just remember that. You can always be a Jet fan like myself. Come on. I have my Geno Smith jersey on my dummy I got from the Washington football team. The best $30 I ever spent. I gotta say. Well, let's go into buy, selling, and holding. What are you buying and selling and holding? Because, I'm interested to see what you're doing here.
I'm buying the Titans. It's yeah, Josh. Oh my gosh, Josh, I'll be in Pittsburgh, dude. So yeah.
I'm not even going to be on the show this Sunday, so I think.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
oh, see, oh no,
Oh,
Josh,
see.
sorry, dude. But yeah, for me, buying the Titans. Like, there's no way I don't buy the Titans. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm buying the Tennessee Titans. They're like terrifying.
I'll say your quote here. I could grab the low-hanging fruit of the Titans, or I could go just somewhere else, okay? I'm going to go with the Chargers. They had a really get-right game against the Eagles, and that's going to get them back on track after 2 abysmal games from Justin Herbert and company. They host the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday, so I think they're going to continue their get-right streak, and they're fighting for a division lead right now. I think they're also the AFC West and the AFC North are both divisions over with teams over 500 in the standings.
Yes, sir.
So that is something that you can look at there. But let's go into selling. Who are we just selling off of? Because, well, there's just, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to sell off the Carolina Panthers. Okay, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I should have traded DJ Moore in fantasy when I had the chance. No, I feel bad for them. I mean, their defense is really good, but just the offense is having a big question mark. And it looks like PJ Walker might be stepping in for quarterback, and maybe that might ignite that offense and maybe get him back into some playoff contention. We'll figure it out what goes on there.
Yeah, I sold the Panthers a while ago. I'm glad I sold that train. See, the thing is, like, there's really the Vikings. Nope, I found it. The Vikings.
A team that's always had a close game. They've not. I don't believe they've been blown out this year. I don't believe so. They've always had a close game.
They can't find a way to win. So I'm over the Vikings. They're an team. Kirk Cousins is That's what they are. Selling. Get out of my house. I'm over the Vikings. They're not allowed in.
I'm gonna sell off on the Bengals. It's only a Bengal thing to do. On Halloween, they were first in the AFC North, and after Sunday, they're last in the AFC North. It's just a Bengals thing to do, and they did it the Bengal way. The AFC North is a wacky place. It's kind of like the Metropolitan in the NHL. It's just a wacky place.
Wacky place to be.
And let's hold. Who are we holding off on for this week?
You held on to the Falcons. It's my turn to hold on to the Falcons. Scordero Patterson, dude. There's a little
Scordero Patterson. There it is.
Patterson. So I'm holding on the Falcons. Like, Matt Ryan's playing good football. I'm holding on the Falcons. Like, I don't need to beat a dead horse. I'm holding on the Falcons.
I'm going to hold off on the Colts. They had a very good win against the Jets last Thursday. And I think, they're finally finding their offensive rhythm with running the ball with Hines and also the guy from Wisconsin, drawing a blank on him. Jonathan Taylor. I don't know how I could forget about him, but
yeah, I don't know how you forgot he touched your team this weekend. So
you mean he couldn't touch the team because no one could get near him?
Yeah, that was really bad. But yeah, Jonathan
530
Taylor,
yards.
Jonathan Taylor, spoopy man.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on the Colts. Let's see what they do. As Josh, he's going off right now. You can check out his show. You can check out Josh's show, To the House. So at some point later today. I don't know when, but they'll be live later today.
You got to get a specific time, Josh. You can't just have like, yeah. You got to nail in the time, make it consistent, just like play action here. But yeah, I do also understand hammering me. Titans was easy, low-hanging fruit, but I said it. I'm giving them their credit where it's due, so I got to buy the Titans. But yeah, I'm holding on the Falcons. So yeah, we'll see what they continue to do. They're working themselves right back into the wild card situation.
Oh, he's going off right now. Don't talk about times, Colton. You see, I need to set up a Josh versus Colton segment because I think this is going to be one of the best ones. It's the best segment that could ever happen. But ladies and gentlemen, week 10 is here. Well, let's set up a thing here. Let's get everything going. And Colton, where does our graphic go? Can you point to it where it goes? There it is.
Yes, sir.
Colton he came back from the basement, or well, the third step to the basement. One game behind. I had an abysmal week. He had a good week to say the least. And let's get into these picks here. Thursday night football. The Baltimore Ravens at the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, you can lock me in for.
I'll lock you in. Lock you in for Baltimore. I'll take Baltimore too. battle of the best tight ends in the AFC. Both Mike Gesicki and Mark Andrews, and also Nick Boyle returns for the Ravens. Cleveland at New England. Nick Chubb is out. Well, not out officially, but he's not registered for the lineup right now.
He is probably out. Oh, gosh. Got to take the Patriots. Where's this game at?
In New England.
Yeah, I got to take the Patriots, dude.
This also reminds me of a great time in New England back in 2013. I like how I say great time, like I was there. But it was the Josh Gordon breakout game with Jason Campbell. Patriots come back with a minute to go, 2 scores. The Tom Brady way, beat the Cleveland Browns. I'll go New England on this one. Who did you say you wanted to go with this one? New England?
Yeah.
I just have to write this down for my record so I know what I'm doing. But I'll match you with New England here. Damian Harris, questionable with a head injury right now. And also Ramondre Stevenson, I think, is also questionable. So
yeah, they're both.
Brandon Bolden is the only active back on the roster. We'll figure out what they could do with the run game. And they've been heating it up the entire season, to say the least. Atlanta at Dallas. Could this be the get right for the onside kick for the Falcons?
Oh,
Because they messed it up week 2 last year. Did they remember how to play special teams?
Come on, you're just kicking them other down. But no, I got to take Dallas. I think Dallas got embarrassed. I think Dallas wins this week by at least a touchdown.
I'm going to match you with Dallas. What else? Won't call you out here, bud. Oh, here goes Josh. Josh is delusional, man.
I'm confused here from Mr. No-Show. Like, the dude's like no-showed multiple times on shows. It's like, oh, where's Josh? I just didn't answer the phone. So I'm very confused here. So I'm not sure what he's going for here. But yeah, what else we got?
Let's see. What else do we got? We got New Orleans at Tennessee. I'll fill you in here on the hottest team in the NFC right now, the Tennessee Titans. But I got to say, good game from the Colts. Not the Colts. The Saints last week coming back from 19 down, regained the lead. But Matt Scordell Patterson down the sideline. Saints couldn't cover him. And Young Waku with a game winner. I'll match with Tennessee. Buffalo at the New York Jets. I want to hear an interesting fact about this game.
Yeah, hit me.
So the last time the Bills have been favored by double digits was 1992. And this is when the Jets quarterback broke his neck. And I believe the Jets won this game in 1992. So they have not been a double-digit favorite against the Jets in nearly 30 years. I'm not sure if this will change anything you're looking at, but they have to play Mike F. and White, okay? Mike F. and White. Always have to remember that in the back of your head.
Gosh, you're fun. Well,
I'm a funny guy. I gotta admit, I am a funny guy.
Well, I gotta go with Buffalo again. Embarrassed against the Jags. They have some serious problems on offense. As much as they're like blind to it's like the house, like the building's on fire. That wonderful meme. Everything's fine. It's not fine, Buffalo. Figure it out. Like, what are you doing to Josh Allen? Holy, and what's Josh Allen are we talking about? Like, are we talking like bah, 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 right back at you, like Spider-Man meme? Like, what Josh Allen are we talking about here? But yeah, figure it out, Buffalo, because the offense is a problem. Run the football. I know Zach Moss is in concussion protocol this week, probably out. Singletary, give him the ball. Like, it's just like. You should have went and got a running back at the deadline. Something like it's very confusing with Buffalo here. Like, figure it out offensively. Buffalo gets right this weekend, though. They got embarrassed. If they don't, then there's serious problems about Buffalo. And I'm gonna start. Yes, this is Buffalo's offensive room here. So, yeah, I'm gonna take Buffalo. And if they lose or like they don't win good. Like if they like squeak out a field goal against the Jets, I'm holding Buffalo next week. Buying or selling them. I'm holding Buffalo. Like I was all in on Josh Allen, or like before we hopped on what you Stadium had our new intro. Go Allen and the Bills. Like I'm gonna worry about Buffalo and go Allen and those Bills. Like they better figure it out offensively.
I'm going to match you with Buffalo here. Okay, the Jets broke my heart last week, but Josh Johnson, 3 touchdowns, the best game of his professional career since 2008, since he's been in the league. Detroit at Pittsburgh.
Going to the Berg, baby. I can't wait. Oh, there's a terrible towel. I should have just grabbed it and waved it here. I'm excited to go to the game. Glad to be back in Pittsburgh. Last year was painful not being able to go there. Give me the Steelers, man. They're hot. I called the 5-game win streak. See if they can punch it off leading into a big game at SoFi in LA. Steelers beat the Lions. Hopefully, God, if they don't, give me an awful right
It'll be a
home.
very Steeler thing to do.
It would be a very Steeler thing to do. Oh gosh.
I will match you with the Pittsburgh Steelers on this one. Tampa Bay at Washington. I'll fill you in for Tampa Bay because that's what I'll be
This is a
doing.
useless week, isn't it? We're gonna literally have the same team.
We're gonna have the same picks this week. Okay, Carolina at Arizona.
Yeah, we're gonna have the same picks. You don't have to ask me. James
All right.
Conner. James Conner's the guy.
The James Conner show.
It's going to be the James Conner show. Shout out to the former Steeler. He's found himself leading the league in rushing scores. Love me some James Conner. Good story. Erie, Pennsylvania guy. Feed James Conner, folks. Feed him.
I'll match you with Arizona as well. Minnesota at the Chargers.
This is an interesting game. It's just like this is a game Minnesota ends up winning. I'm going to be stupid and take them. Shouldn't do it. I'm going to do it. Give me. Oh, yeah. No, I'm taking the Vikings. Yep.
I just wrote it down. Okay, well, I'll match you with the Chargers as well because
I'm going Vikings.
You're going Vikings. Yeah. I literally, you pick the Chargers. Now I'm going to write the Vikings again. Now my paper looks disgusting.
Yeah. Give me
let's see. Philadelphia at Denver.
See, this is like. I'm taking Denver, but this is the game Denver ends up losing. It's like, oh, did Denver figure it out? And then Denver loses. I'm going to take Denver, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
I want to take Denver, but also I realized that Denver screwed me out of thousands of dollars when I was able to bet as a degenerate. But I will be taking Jalen Hurts and company because I am never going to take Denver. Never. Never, ever. Let's see. Seattle at Green Bay.
Yeah, if Rodgers plays, give me the Packers. If not, you can book me in for Seattle. So you can put like asterisks. You can put an asterisk there because like let's not try to take advantage of me with taking Green Bay if Rodgers is out. So don't try to squeak yourself a win. So I'm gonna take Green Bay. If Rodgers is out, asterisk that Seattle clearly.
I was gonna take Green Bay regardless. I can't go against Green Bay. I still think Seattle has a very bad defense. So. And they played Jacksonville, so it doesn't really count towards anything.
I don't care about bad defense. It's how Jordan Love looked this past weekend with a bad defense. So if he plays, I'm taking Seattle with Russell Wilson back. I'm not falling into that wonderful trap of taking Green Bay still. Nope, not doing it. Thanks. Josh, what ifs? Yeah, it's like saying, oh my gosh. I hate this idiot. I hate this man so much. Boomer Sooner, baby. Boomer Sooner. How about that?
Torn down.
Oh, gosh.
Sunday Night Football here. Kansas City at Las Vegas. This is a tough game.
Nah, Raiders bounce back this weekend. And it's like, why are you picking against Chiefs? Like, it just hurts my head. Like, Kansas City shouldn't be a team you pick against. Their defense isn't good. Like the Raiders are gonna run all over them because Derek Carr can throw. It's like oh, they figured themselves out. Kansas City, no, they haven't. The Giants offsided themselves to a freaking loss. The bad coaching from the Giants lost them Kansas City. No, Raiders win. Carr's gonna pick that secondary apart with Deshaun Jackson, the new man in town. I hate this guy. Please stop putting him on. I hate this guy so much, Josh. Yo, Josh, what's it like being undefeated and not ranked in the top 6? Wow, couldn't be me. Boomer Sooner. Freaking losers. Imagine that.
I'm going to take Kansas City.
Okay.
I don't think they can lose in prime time.
Oh, they will lose in prime time.
In Vegas.
Should have already.
I don't think so. No way, Jose.
I'll take this one. Thanks, dude. You're going to let me right back in here, but I'm going to give it away with taking Denver. So
let's see. Monday Night Football, the Rams at the 49ers.
Yeah, Rams get right. Rams were absolutely embarrassed. See this guy. Go blue, baby. Go blue.
Great. Now I have to see all this Michigan stuff when Maryland has to play them.
Yeah, Michigan tips off their season. Oh, God, I can't wait for hoops. We're not even talking hoops.
I can't wait for hoops. It's going to be great.
Oh, gosh, Michigan tips off in like 30 minutes, so I got to bang out this article when I'm done here. Oh, can't wait.
Let's see. Monday Night Football, Rams, San Fran.
Yeah, Rams already, you can. Oh, my God, please, don't put it up. Like, just don't put them up. I'm over them, please. But yes, just stop. It's just hurting my head. Rams win. It's not any logic. Rams win. I hate this guy, and you put him up anyway. Oh God, I hate this kid. I really do. Josh, you're fine. Josh, I haven't met you yet in person. Like I have to have a beer with you whenever you're back in dirty Jersey. But yeah, I hate you so much at the same time. Like you'd be the guy I'd love to have a beer with, and at the same time, I'm like, this guy's an idiot. Let me hit him.
Smash the
Boom!
mug over his head.
Yeah,
Bar
like
fight.
breakable, I'm gonna need a breakable bottle. What up? Ding. But yeah, you can give me the Rams. The 40, dude. Imagine that. Like the 49ers have like literally fallen off of a cliff.
They've beat the Rams the last 4 times. That's what I can't get.
Like it's just the 49ers.
I'm not showing his comment here.
No,
Not giving it the light of day here.
I'm over this guy.
If you want to see his comment, go over to the U Stadium Facebook page. You'll find his comment at about 50 minutes and 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's just the 49ers is just falling off a cliff, dude. Like, I don't know what it is. The defense isn't nearly as good. Like, the defense is bad. Like, Nick Bosa last year was like, oh my gosh, Nick Bosa before he got hurt.
Last year.
Well, he got hurt. Well, when did he get hurt? Was that
last year, game 2. So it was rookie year 2 years ago.
Yes. See, I know we got hurt.
I saved
I'm
him.
not Stephen A. No. You don't need to try to save Stephen A here. I knew he was hurt. Unlike Stephen A, like, yeah. And then he's like, he's been out all season. Oh, no, I knew he was hurt last year. He tore his ACL. A bunch of players went down against the Jets last season. Yeah, no, it just, there's serious problems in San Francisco land. Haven't heard from Nick Bosa this year. He's been really quiet other than the Julio Jones thing. I tackled Julio Jones. Other than that, I haven't heard anything from Nick Bosa. So like yeah.
I'm going to take the Rams, but I think this is going to be a very close game because for some reason, always the 49ers and Rams games are just close. They're field goals that just decide the game. I'm going to take the Rams, but I think it's going to be a very close game, to say the least. And that, ladies and gentlemen, rounds out our show. You can find us on whatever social media platform you want. Let's see. The Play Extra Podcast over on Instagram, Play Extra Podcast on Facebook, Play Extra Podcast on YouTube, and Play Extra Pod 1 over on Twitter. You can follow Colton and I on Twitter. You can always find us on Twitter. We're always talking about something stupid. My addiction to spray cranberry and how Michigan's just going to break his heart every single time. That's kind of Colton. Oh, you know what? No, it's the Lakers season. So, you know, what could go wrong with the Lakers this time?
See, you saw me tweeting about the Lakers the other day. See, you know, I'm
observant.
Working some stuff in the background here, folks, for the U Stadium guys. Looking to get a basketball podcast and live show going. So be on the lookout for that. You like hoops, NBA, ready to get that thing going. Hopefully, I think I got some things going on in the background here. So pretty excited for that. But yeah, you can follow my personal page. I have the ad sitting there at the Real Sea Wagon. And again, Will, wonderful show, dude. Always love talking football with my foosball friends.
Love the foosball, football americano. You know, that's the Spanish version. I don't know why I said that. I'm a hot mess right now. But ladies and gentlemen, you can always check us out and the rest of the other U Stadium shows. You can watch Play Like a Jet at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight with the guys. I believe they're from Australia. I want to say they are. They're all the way across the ocean there. And also Damon Snacks Harrison's show over on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And also everyone else's show because they're all great. The Sports Desk, the Fantasy Live. There's a lot of great shows. I know they want to probably get some more out. So always be looking on the lookout for great content from U Stadium and all of us too. So thank you guys for tuning in. Tune back in next week. Later, everyone.